fucking man is. You can talk all you want. Because you're not going to affect me. I'm going to break your balls. Go ahead. Right now. Stop with the theatrics. I'm tired of bullshit.
Joe Gorga, such a drama queen. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is your girl Sammy Sam P. Let's talk about the latest episode of The Real Housewives of New Jersey now. We're back at the mozzarella party. Teresa and Melissa are going back and forth. Teresa is explaining to Melissa that really none of that is what she wanted. All she really wants is to have a good relationship with her brother. By some type of miracle, they are able to make up. And Teresa is telling Melissa, so do you want to be a bridesmaid? Because I think that the biggest issue for Melissa was that she is not a bridesmaid in Teresa's wedding. She's been bitching about it with everybody else in the last 2 episodes. And Teresa is like, well, I mean, now that we're good, you can be my bridesmaid. And I'm like, Teresa, this is not the right way to ask somebody that you've been fighting with to be your bridesmaid. But Teresa is who she is, and at least she tried. And Melissa is like, no. So you want to tell me that you've been mad all along, Melissa, because you're not a bridesmaid in Teresa's wedding, and now that Teresa had a kumbaya moment is in inviting you, you're like saying no. I feel that, yeah, nobody wants to be invited that way because it was kind of like out of the blue type of thing. But I think that you could have maybe take her aside and explain to her why you're saying no. I feel like the way you said no was more like, no, I don't want to be in it because of the way you ask and because all of this back and forth. But it's like you created the back and forth, right? Like the past 2 episodes has been about Melissa and Joe being angry that Melissa is not a bridesmaid. I'm just saying, y'all, I'm not trying to play the devil advocate, but yeah, if I were Melissa, I would have said no, but because that's my sister-in-law, I would have given her a little bit more explanation so that things are clear. They're not done to look for something else, and this is what happens. But yeah, as of now, they were able to make up. Dolores and a new boyfriend are at home. They're chilling and everything, but they have a photographer coming because on the guy's calendar, Franck was sick and he was not able to come and take the picture. So he's having his own photo shoot. He and Dolores are talking. Franck came in, and honestly, the dynamic between those two men is really funny to me. I think that what is really going on is that Paulie wants to take charge. He is not used to the dynamic between Dolores and Franck is jealous. And they have a conversation.
But in all fairness, like, I was just expecting a little bit different from you. Maybe I was anticipating you would pull me aside and talk to me about your family and kind of like regiments that you have. I think so. You can't ask a woman to do a man's job.
Paulie, I must say, I applaud him. You know, he's having a real man behavior and he's being straightforward with Franck. And he's telling him, you know, I expected you to give me a call so that we can have all this type of conversation. This is man stuff. This is not Dolores' responsibility to do that, really. I'm going to be honest. I agree with Lee. I feel that because Dolores and Franck have such a different relationship, Franck should have given him a call to basically tell him how it is between them. In other time, I would have said, yes, this is Dolores' responsibility to talk to a man and do all those things. Do I still think that Dolores needs to do it? Yes. But do I also think that Franck could have given him a call? Yes. Let me all know what you think in the comment. But Franck is saying that no, he didn't have his phone number and he doesn't really like the way that Paulie talked and is really talking about his manhood. There's no way for Franck to like the stuff that Paulie told to him. Those two, they're going to go back and forth because Franck is not going to let go of his position in Dolores' life. He wants to be very close to her. They're basically still married, but without probably having sex. And they're having the photo shoot, and it was hilarious. Franck in his outfit, I was dying, y'all. I was dying. But one thing I must say is that Franck does look good. He is of a certain age. He takes care of himself, you know, but that was something else. It was the Franck bunny. Let's call him the Franck bunny. Did y'all like Franck's attire for the calendar? Let me all know in the comments. Next scene, we have Melissa with Margaret and Jackie. The girls are catching up. They talk about Jennifer Fessler, the friend of the group, behavior. She was weird. She was eating that food weird. She was doing the most. And then they were talking about the fact that Danielle told Melissa that she thought that Jackie was kind of like looking at, up and down and everything. And then Jackie was like, yes, I was, because she looked so bad and everything. And I was like, damn, like, you don't know this girl. And I felt like Jackie really had that mean girl behavior. I wasn't personally a fan of Jackie's mean girl behavior. I thought that she's doing the most. It's not warranted. And I'm glad that Daniel was able to see that and not invite her to the mozzarella party. What do you think? Next, we have Rachel and her family. They're having a photo shoot for her daughter's second birthday party. Her daughter is so pretty, y'all. She is definitely so pretty. She has two daughters back to back, and she's telling us that had to go through IVF, and she still have 5 embryos that are frozen, and she wants to have more kids. She said that she feels so blessed to be in the position that she's in. She really wants to have more kids now. She wants to have at least one more. Husband is telling her that like to wait a little bit, maybe wait a year. But Rachel feels like she just want to get over with it, you know, like IVF is a very gruesome, difficult process, and she just want to have it all behind her. And honestly, I agree and understand 100% what Rachel is saying, where she's coming from. I think that her husband is blessed that she's even willing to go through like 3 pregnancies back to back. I mean, you know, so that they can be done. But hey, he may also have his grievance, right? They have like 2 kids, like very in very close age. So I understand if he's not ready and he wants a little bit of time. I understand the both of them. But yeah, I like that about Rachel. That's definitely some character development. That's probably going to be a storyline. And I think that's really nice. What do you think? Next scene, we have Teresa. She's at home with Louis and her daughters, and they're talking. And they're talking about the situation with Joe. It seems like things are not better. She tells them what was said about Melissa. She also tells them that she asked Melissa to be a bridesmaid. And even her daughter was like,
I wish you never asked her that, because I mean, not for nothing, like you're still upset with the fact that she said that like she was there for us.
oh yeah, the situation is really, really bad. If even Teresa's daughter have such like a strong opinion on that. And yeah, they go about the situation, and Louis is tired, he's fed up, he's not happy with Melissa, he's not happy with Joe. And yeah, the situation is sad. Teresa is crying. I think we're having a very vulnerable moment. I think that she just doesn't want to be going back and forth with her brother. But the thing is that they have a podcast where they're talking about all the stuff that they've done for Teresa. They're saying that they've been very present for her and supportive for the daughters when she went to jail. Another daughter comes and she's basically saying, Melissa is not telling the truth. And I'm like, child, Melissa girl, this is going to be very difficult for you to get away with this one if even the kids are saying you were not there. And it even brings up a lot of more context for us, because Teresa is saying that I'm only saying what my kids are telling me. I was in jail. So if my kids are not telling me that you were present and she was not there for them, I only have to believe them. And I was like, yeah. I was like, girl, I mean, I told y'all Melissa is not, you know, an angel. I told y'all she's not an angel in that situation. And there might have been some lies involved. Do I think that Joe and Melissa were present for Teresa or were giving her some help and stuff like that? I think they helped. I think they helped. But do I think that they are making things look like they did way more than they did? Seems like it is based on what the daughters are saying. I need that tea to do what it does ASAP so that I can go back in my office. Melissa and Danielle. Danielle is saying that she really looks up to Melissa. Melissa have a lot of businesses and stuff like that. They talk about the situation with Teresa. And Danielle is telling Melissa that this situation is close to home for her because she has not been in a relationship with her brother. She's saying that whenever she started a social media journey, her brother was making fun of her. She blocked him. That created a lot of problem. She's also saying that she might also have been a little bit at fault because that was a new dynamic with her brother getting engaged and everything, and that because she has a big mouth, maybe that was not well interpreted by a new sister-in-law who in turn talked to the brother, and that created a whole lot of issues, and they have not been talking for 2 years. Danielle is telling Melissa that she thinks that in her instance, the sister-in-law was at fault and created the situation where it is. And Melissa is like, no, it cannot always be the sister-in-law's fault. And a part of me, yeah, I agree with Melissa. I think that the brothers were already fed up, but we're not going to lie and not say that Melissa is not helping the situation between Joe and Teresa. She's saying she's helping, but when we see her behavior on the show, it's very hard to believe that she's not helping make things worse between the siblings. Danielle is asking her, do you really think that's what you're doing though? And she's like, no. And I'm like, Melissa, as I said, you're no angel in that situation. Point blank, period. We have Jennifer with her family, and I love Jennifer's kids. They have so much personality, or I cannot deal with them. Jennifer feels like it's time for her kids to start learning how to clean around the house, and she's even willing to give them pocket money, well, to pay them minimal wage so that they're motivated. And it was the most hilarious thing, y'all. She told them, okay, what is minimal wage? $14, okay, or 13. And the kids, they negotiated, y'all. I was dead. Her daughter was like,
Many.
God, I was so dead. That was like the best scene today. That's like one of the best scene. Oh my God, I laughed so hard. And then the husband was like, okay, $14 might be too much, but it's time for them to start learning how to do certain things. We can maybe give them something, but it's not gonna be that amount of money. Jennifer and her husband, they talk, and Jennifer tells him the stuff that was said about her, that she's not really self-reflective, self-inquisitive. She doesn't really see anything wrong with herself. And her husband is like looking at her like, was it a lie? Her husband was trying to tell her that she also have to be able to see herself in the mirror and accept some of her fault. But Jennifer is delusional to the hundred, to the point that she's willing to fight with her husband because her husband is just trying to be honest with her, but she's not listening, and we can see that her husband is tired. Next scene, we have a beautiful scene between Danielle and her family. So she's telling us that her parents are divorced. Is going to have like a painting recital, and it was the cutest thing. It was the cutest thing. Her brother supporting her, the entire family supporting her. It's really building her confidence. She was the cutest little things. It was really nice to see a relationship with him. And Danielle is saying that, it's been really, really hard on her family. She's saying that apparently the brother is not talking to the mom either, and the mom is like, whatever, not is only talking to the dad. And we can see that the dad is so tired, he is crying, he cannot deal with it, and he wants it to pass. He just wants them to be close knitted. He wants both his children to get along. Watch, siblings fight are hard, but hey, all I can say is that if it's for you to be close and fight, what's the point? Maybe you should take a break from each other. I don't know. I'm just saying, right? Nobody wants to have toxic relationship. Next scene, we have Joe and Melissa. They're at their Jersey house, and they have Melissa's mom and sister coming to visit. Now that Melissa is in better term with Teresa, they're bringing up a new fight because apparently Teresa did not invite his sister and mother-in-law, and because Teresa did not invite them, now it's a problem. And I told you all at the beginning, Joe and Melissa are looking for an issue. This was easily a conversation that Melissa could have brought up to Teresa after they made up. Maybe a couple days later, give her a call so that she tell her, hey, I noted that you did not invite my mom and my sister. What's going on? We're family. Italians have a way of go about them, which I can relate because African people do that too. Your brother's family is your family, your sister-in-law, they're considered family. I can definitely relate to that. But what I'm saying is that Melissa could have taken a grievance to Teresa after they made up, and Teresa could have done what she needed to do, but no, they decided to bring it on the show, and that is why I believe that Joe and Melissa are two drama queens. They just like to bring the drama. They don't want to be at peace with Teresa. Them being at peace with Teresa would mean that they don't have anything going on. They don't have a storyline anymore. Let me all know what you think in the comments. Next, we have the gentlemen meeting all together. I love their relationship. They bring a lot of fun. Their camaraderie, their brotherhood, I really like it. It seems like the husband of the two new ladies are fitting right in. Rachel's husband even brought them a gift. He brought them Pepto-Bismol and a bunch of other things, basically telling them, I'm going to overdrink you, I'm going to drink more than you and stuff, and you're not going to be cool, so I'm bringing you a package care. That was so funny and so cool. They all had a good time. Paulie did not want to come, and Franck used that to let them know what happened and what was said. The other gentlemen are looking at him like, you just want to be with Dolores, and he's accepting that it.
I miss my relationship with Dolores. Yes, I do. I mean, Paulie is a very, very good-looking guy, and he's charming, and he's got. Don't do this.
Like, if you love Dolores, go get your girl. Like, you're old as hell. When are you going to learn? You obviously do not see your life without her. Your relationship is more than co-parenting. Your kids are actually old. I think the son is like 22. Like, y'all have no business being that close unless maybe they're still feeling. Paulie is being smart for not coming because this group have a brotherhood, and Franck is kind of like in the middle of that. He's going to come into the drama. You know, everybody is not like Louis, and this is going to be problematic. Actually, talking about Louis, Joe was bitching about him.
In-law and my mother-in-law, they're not invited to the wedding. You're a piece of shit. You're garbage.
And then when he came and said hi to everybody, Joe was starting to be calm and everything, but then he brought up the drama again.
If you have a bachelor party, who are you going to invite?
Why are you asking?
Louis was ready for the smoke and gave him all the smoke he was asking for. I was with Louis on this. I love the way that Louis was standing his ground.
You mean nothing to me.
There's a lot of slap in the faces going on. You're not the only one that's feeling like this.
Who's slapping who?
Your wife went publicly on social media this week to say that her kids wouldn't eat food if it wasn't for you and her.
Joe was having all those theatrics, but Louis was not backing down.
I'm so above you, it's not even funny.
I'm going to tell you what a man is.
You can talk all you want. Because you're not your balls. Go ahead.
Right now.
Stop with the theatrics. Stop with the theatrics.
I was extremely happy and proud that Louis was standing up for himself in front of Joe, because Joe is doing the most. And actually, if you noticed, some of the guys were kind of like on Joe's side.
It's really a slap in the face not to invite him. It's an Italian family. I'm Italian. I know how it works.
But they're forgetting that those are Louis' in-laws. He may not know them as much, right? They are on Teresa's side. Why would I want to fight with my fiance about her not inviting people that are all on her side? That's like her side of the family. He probably already have to worry about his own side of the family, and he now has to worry about your side. No, you have to be understanding. That's it for the Real Housewives of New Jersey. I thought this episode was great. I give it a 7, 8 out of 10. What do you think is going to happen next? Who are you siding with on the fight between Joe and Louis? Personally, I am on Louis' side. Like, Joe is doing too much. He is such a drama queen. And on this note, if you're new here, welcome. And I invite you to, and liking, as it really helps my channel to grow. And for those of you that have been here with me, thank you all so much for your love and support. And I will see you all next week for the next episode.